The truth about creatine. 7 things they don't tell you. What if the most important things about creatine aren't the things everyone talks about? If you've spent any time watching fitness videos or reading health articles online, you've probably heard the usual claims. Creatine helps build muscle. Creatine boosts strength. Creatine improves workout performance. And while those benefits are real, they're only part of the story. The truth is, creatine is one of the most researched supplements in the world. Millions of people use it, scientists have studied it for decades, and yet there are still plenty of myths, misunderstandings, and surprising facts that rarely get discussed. Some people avoid creatine because of fears that aren't supported by the evidence. Others take it incorrectly and never experience its full benefits. And many users are shocked by some of the changes they notice after they start taking it because nobody warned them what to expect. That's what makes this topic so interesting. The more you learn about creatine, the more you realize that many of the biggest lessons have nothing to do with marketing claims or social media hype. Some of these truths may surprise you. Some could help you avoid common mistakes. And one of them completely changes the way many people think about what creatine actually does. So if you want to separate fact from fiction and understand what's really going on behind one of the world's most popular supplements, you're in the right place. Today, we're uncovering the truth about creatine and the 7 things they don't tell you. But before we begin, drop your name and the city you're watching from in the comments below. Alright, let's get started. Number 1. Creatine doesn't build muscle by itself. Have you ever watched someone online show off an incredible transformation and give all the credit to creatine? It happens all the time. People see dramatic before and after photos and start believing that creatine is some kind of muscle-building magic powder that can pack on pounds of muscle in just a few weeks. But the reality is a little different. Creatine doesn't directly build muscle the way many people imagine. It isn't a shortcut that automatically transforms your physique while you sit back and wait for results. What creatine actually does is help support your performance during exercise. It helps your muscles produce quick energy during intense activity, which may allow you to push a little harder during your workouts. Maybe you complete an extra repetition, maybe you lift slightly heavier weights, maybe you recover a little better between sets and maintain your performance longer. At first, those improvements may seem small, but that's where the real power of creatine comes from. Those small performance gains can add up over time. Better workouts often lead to better training results. Better training results can contribute to increased strength, improved fitness, and eventually, more muscle growth. In other words, creatine helps create an environment where progress becomes easier, but it doesn't create the progress by itself. Without exercise, proper nutrition, and consistency, creatine has very little to work with. That's why the people who see the best results are usually the ones who already have solid habits in place. They're training regularly, eating enough protein, and staying committed to the process. Creatine simply helps support those efforts. Think of it like a tool in your toolbox. A useful tool? Absolutely. A miracle shortcut? Not even close. And honestly, understanding that difference can help you set much more realistic expectations from the very beginning. Number 2. The first weight you gain isn't usually muscle. Here's something that surprises a lot of first-time creatine users. A week or two after starting, they step on the scale and notice the number has gone up, and that's when the guessing begins. Some people get excited and think, wow, I'm already building muscle. Others have the exact opposite reaction. They see the increase and immediately worry that they're gaining body fat. But in most cases, neither explanation tells the whole story. One of creatine's primary effects is helping your muscles store more water. As your muscle cells become better hydrated, they naturally hold more fluid. That extra water can increase your body weight, sometimes by a few pounds, especially during the first few weeks. This isn't a flaw in creatine, it's actually part of how it works. Better hydrated muscles often look fuller, feel firmer, and may perform better during exercise. Many users notice that their muscles appear slightly larger and more defined even before significant muscle growth has had time to occur. That's why the scale can be so misleading. A higher number doesn't automatically mean you've gained muscle, but it doesn't automatically mean you've gained fat either. It may simply mean your muscles are holding more water than they were before. Understanding that difference is important because it can save you from a lot of unnecessary confusion and frustration. The truth is that not all weight gain is created equal. Sometimes the scale goes up because you're carrying more body fat. Other times, it goes up because your muscles are becoming more hydrated and better prepared for performance. That's why it's always a good idea to look beyond the number on the scale and pay attention to the bigger picture. How you feel, how you perform, and how your body is changing over time. Number 3, you don't need huge doses. Have you ever wondered why some people walk around with giant scoops of creatine as if more powder automatically means more results? It's a surprisingly common belief. Many beginners start taking creatine and immediately think, if a little works, then a lot must work even better. On the surface, that idea sounds logical. After all, if creatine helps support strength and performance, why not take as much as possible and speed up the process? The problem is that your body doesn't always work that way. In fact, taking excessive amounts of creatine often creates more problems than benefits. Instead of gaining an advantage, some people end up dealing with bloating, stomach discomfort, digestive issues, or that unpleasant feeling that their body simply isn't happy with what they're doing. And here's the frustrating part. All that extra creatine usually isn't providing extra results. One of the biggest secrets about creatine is that success has much less to do with taking huge doses and much more to do with consistency. The people who get the best long-term results are rarely the ones chasing shortcuts. They're the ones who take a reasonable amount, stay patient, and stick with it day after day. Think about it this way. A small daily habit that you follow consistently is almost always more effective than an aggressive strategy you can't maintain. That principle applies to exercise, nutrition, hydration, and creatine as well. Creatine isn't a supplement that rewards impatience. It works gradually as your muscles build up and maintain their creatine stores over time. So, if you're tempted to take massive scoops in hopes of faster gains, remember this. Simple habits usually beat complicated strategies. And when it comes to creatine, consistency is often the real secret behind the results people are looking for. Number 4. Hydration matters more than most people realize. Now here's something that doesn't get nearly enough attention when people talk about creatine. Hydration. Most people hear about bigger muscles, better workouts, and increased strength. But very few people talk about the simple fact that creatine changes how water is distributed inside your body. One of the reasons creatine works so well is that it helps your muscles store more water. Better hydrated muscles can support performance, recovery, and overall training capacity. But there's a catch. If your muscles are holding more water, your body may need more fluids to keep everything running smoothly. That's where many people run into trouble. They start taking creatine, continue drinking the same amount of water they always have, and then begin noticing things like headaches, fatigue, sluggishness, or a general feeling that something is off. Naturally, they assume the supplement is causing the problem. But in many cases, creatine isn't the real issue at all. The real issue is that their hydration habits haven't kept up with their body's changing needs. Think about it for a moment. If your muscles are drawing in more water, it makes sense that your body may start asking for more fluids throughout the day. Some people even notice they feel thirstier after starting creatine, which is often their body's way of sending a simple message: drink more water. The good news is that this is one of the easiest problems to fix. For many users, improving their hydration habits makes a noticeable difference in how they feel. More energy, fewer headaches, better workouts, and an overall smoother experience with creatine. That's why experienced users often pay just as much attention to their water bottle as they do to their supplement container. Because when it comes to creatine, proper hydration isn't just helpful. It's one of the most important habits you can have, and surprisingly, it's also one of the most commonly overlooked. Number 5. Not everyone experiences the same results. Have you ever noticed how one person calls a supplement life-changing while another says it didn't do anything at all? It happens all the time with creatine. You'll hear one person say they felt stronger within a few weeks, their workouts improved, and they noticed visible changes in the mirror. Then you'll hear someone else claim they barely noticed a difference. So who's right? The truth is, they both might be. One of the most important things people don't realize about creatine is that everyone starts from a different place. No two bodies are exactly alike, and that means no two people will respond in exactly the same way. Several factors can influence how noticeable the effects are. Genetics play a role, Activity levels matter, diet matters, muscle mass matters. Even the amount of creatine your body naturally stores before you start supplementing can affect your results. For example, someone who already eats a lot of creatine-rich foods and trains consistently may experience different results than someone who is just beginning their fitness journey. That's why comparing your progress to someone else's can be so frustrating. Social media makes this even worse. People often post their most dramatic results while leaving out important details about their training, nutrition, experience level, and lifestyle habits. The reality is that your results don't need to look like anyone else's to be meaningful. Maybe your progress shows up as a little more strength. Maybe it's better recovery. Maybe it's improved workout performance, or simply feeling more energetic throughout the day. Those benefits still count. At the end of the day, creatine isn't a competition. It's a tool that supports your individual goals and circumstances. So instead of measuring your progress against someone else's highlight reel, focus on your own improvements because your journey is unique, and the only comparison that truly matters is how you're doing today compared to where you started. Number 6. Some benefits have nothing to do with appearance. Here's a truth that doesn't get talked about nearly enough. Most people start taking creatine because they want bigger muscles, and there's nothing wrong with that. After all, the fitness world constantly focuses on appearance. Bigger arms, broader shoulders, and more muscle definition tend to get all the attention. But what if some of creatine's most valuable benefits have nothing to do with what you see in the mirror? For many users, the biggest improvements show up in everyday performance rather than appearance. They notice their workouts feel stronger. They recover more comfortably between training sessions. They have more energy for physical activities and feel less limited by fatigue. Over time, they may become more consistent with exercise, simply because their body feels better when they move, and that consistency is where real progress often begins. This becomes especially important as we get older. For older adults, the goal isn't always building the biggest muscles possible. Often, it's about maintaining strength, preserving muscle function, staying active, and continuing to do the things they enjoy without feeling restricted. Being able to walk farther, carry groceries more easily, climb stairs with confidence, or stay active with family and friends can be far more meaningful than achieving a certain look. That's why focusing only on appearance can cause people to miss the bigger picture. The real value of creatine isn't always measured by what the mirror shows you. Sometimes it's measured by what your body allows you to do. It's the extra energy to stay active, the strength to remain independent, the confidence to keep moving, and the ability to continue doing the activities that make life enjoyable. Because in the long run, what you can do with your body often matters far more than how your body looks. And that may be one of creatine's most valuable benefits of all. Number 7. The biggest benefit might be psychological. Now here's the truth that almost nobody talks about, and honestly, it may be one of the most important benefits of all. When people start taking creatine, they usually expect physical changes. They hope for better workouts, more strength, improved performance, or maybe a little extra muscle. But something interesting often happens along the way. Their mindset begins to change. As they start noticing progress, even small improvements, they become more motivated to keep going. Maybe they're lifting a little more weight, maybe they're recovering better, maybe they simply feel stronger and more capable than they did a few weeks ago. Those small wins create momentum, and momentum has a powerful effect on behavior. People begin showing up for their workouts more consistently. They start paying closer attention to their hydration. They become more aware of their nutrition. They prioritize recovery because they can see that these habits are making a difference. Before long, they're not just taking a supplement, they're building a healthier lifestyle around it. The most fascinating part is that this often starts with a simple shift in belief. When people begin seeing progress, they start believing that improvement is possible. They stop thinking, maybe my body can't change, and start thinking, what else can I accomplish if I stay consistent? That change in mindset can be incredibly powerful, because confidence creates action, and action creates results. In many cases, the biggest benefit isn't the supplement itself. It's the positive habits, consistency, and self-belief that grow alongside it. Those are the things that tend to create lasting results long after the excitement of a new supplement wears off, and for many people, that mental transformation ends up being far more valuable than any physical change they see in the mirror. So, what's the truth about creatine? It's not a miracle supplement, it's not magic, and it's certainly not a replacement for healthy habits. But when used consistently and combined with exercise, proper nutrition, hydration, and patience, it can become a valuable tool for supporting strength, recovery, and long-term fitness goals. The key is understanding what creatine can do and what it can't. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever tried creatine? If so, what was the biggest change you noticed? Was it physical, mental, or something completely unexpected? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more honest health and fitness content without the hype. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.